Narcissism from a spiritual perspective, part 7. Once again, let me preface this video by saying I am not looking at narcissism from a worldly perspective, but rather I'm looking at it from a higher consciousness perspective, and it may not resonate with people that are still operating in this world. Let's talk about how narcissists tend to jump into another relationship right after they have done the discard. I've said this in previous videos. It's my theory that narcissists are just a vessel for unclean spirits, and those unclean spirits probably came to them through a traumatic event that they experienced in their childhood that they just never addressed. And so narcissist, or the spirit operating behind the narcissist, messes with the narcissist's mind, and their identity is really rooted in the world and how other people see them. At the root of things, they hate themselves. They have low self-esteem, they don't have any confidence, and so they have to get that validation from the outside world because it makes them feel good, because they can't give themselves that validation. So oftentimes, when the narcissist is being held accountable, it doesn't make them feel happy because they've got a lot of shame inside of them and they don't know how to process that shame. So rather than going inside of themselves and trying to understand what that other person, the one that's trying to hold them accountable, is trying to say, they would prefer to find somebody else that is operating in the same frequency as them, because that will allow them to continue on being the way that they are. It's like they're energy harvesters. And the fact that the person holding them accountable is no longer giving them the energy or the validation that they need, they then quickly run and jump into another relationship because they can put that mask back on and be the best version of themselves. But little do they know that they're attracting someone on the same vibrational state as them. And because they're wearing a mask, that whole relationship is based off a lie as well. You see, the spirit that's operating behind the narcissist is like an energy vampire. They try to get energy from outside of its host, which is the narcissist. I think one of the reasons why narcissists jump from relationship to relationship is it's hard for them to be alone because the thoughts in their mind just torment them. And so they would rather be distracted by someone to keep themselves busy, to play that game, than to have to face those demonic spirits in their mind. And a lot of them don't even know that they're battling with demonic spirits. One of the things that the narcissist has to deal with is the spirit of pride. You see, pride is their downfall. Pride does not allow them to apologize. Pride does not allow them to hold accountability. The spirit of pride is probably one of the most destructive spirits that a narcissist has to battle. You see, that spirit takes over their mind and convinces them they are right. And anybody that offers a different perception is immediately public enemy number one. That's the spirit of pride. So if you happen to have an encounter with a narcissist, or you're in a relationship with a narcissist and they jumped right into a relationship, you have nothing to worry about. Yeah, I know it hurts seeing them with another person, but you gotta feel bad for that other person because they have no idea what they're getting themselves into. See, narcissists, the spirit behind the narcissist, it's weak. They've got to rely on other people for their identity. They've got to hear compliments in order to feel good about themselves. You see, when you're operating in a higher consciousness, when you're operating with God in your heart, you know who you are. You don't need somebody to validate you. You validate yourself. Imagine living a life where you don't have that tool, that you have to harvest other people's energies in order to feel good about yourself. Those spirits really mess with the narcissist's mind. And I understand being on the receiving end, that can be horrible and horrendous experience to deal with. But this is why I always tell you, put the energy back on yourself. Understand your worth. you're a good person, then it is a blessing and it's a privilege for you to be in someone's life. And if that narcissist cannot recognize that, that is not your loss, that is their loss. If they want to continue living lies, let them live their lies. There's nothing that you can do except pray for them. Pray that they'll have an encounter with God, but you got to put the focus back on yourself. Do not allow the narcissist to dim your light. And I think that's exactly the purpose of the narcissist. The spirits behind the narcissist, their mission is to dim the light of those good-hearted people. Take your power back.